One of the main arguments I make here on The Bioneer is that physical training and cognitive training should go hand in hand. Few characters in fiction embody this philosophy like Deathstroke the Terminator. While the explanations have been pseudoscientific at times, Slade is generally said to be able to think 9 times faster than a normal human. This is what allows him to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Batman and Nightwing. He is a master tactician, he picks up new martial arts with ease, and he has heightened speed and decision making in combat. And this is where things get really interesting, because if you could increase your working memory, a core component of IQ, then it actually could help you to become a better mover, and maybe even a combat prodigy. This is something that can be achieved to a more subtle degree with the right kind of training. In this video, I will argue that anyone can benefit from a cognitive skills training day in their routine. Here's what that should look like, inspired by the Calculating Mercenary. Of course, if you want to see how this might fit into a broader training program, you could also check out my ebook and training routine, Super Functional Training. There's a link down below and it's currently on discount. Or keep listening and I'll tell you how this all works and how you can design your own skills day. So working memory is your capacity to store and manipulate information in the short term. When performing maths, for example, you use your working memory to carry numbers or keep the question in mind while working. This is what much of the research focused on for years. But working memory is also what we use to store information about the world around us. When playing sports, for example, we use working memory to remember where the other players are on the pitch. Something similar occurs when you're moving normally through space. Because you can only focus on a narrow amount of information at any given time, you therefore need to build up a picture of the world around you that is constantly updated. See my recent video and post on training reflexes, focus and decision making like John Wick. This way, working memory can improve your vision for driving in sports, as well as your ability to react dynamically to changing scenes. All of this is crucial in combat. If Deathstroke could hypothetically attend to more information at once, he might be able to maintain a more complete picture of his current situation and react to small changes more rapidly. This of course would make him a far more lethal combatant and could explain his tactical mind. But what's more is that working memory also helps you to move your body and learn new skills. That's motor learning. If you've ever been taught how to punch or how to swing a golf club, you'll likely remember being given lots of information about how to move. When punching, you need to rotate the hips and the shoulders, you need to keep loose until the last minute. Depending on the style of martial arts, you must also rotate the fist as it travels. This is a lot to remember, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Keeping all of this in mind during the early stages of motor learning requires working memory and attention. This is what P. Fitz and M. Posner described as the cognitive phase of learning motor skills, the point at which you still need to consciously control your movements. So if Slade has a greater working memory, he can increase the awareness of his own body and thereby move each limb and muscle as instructed. This could help him to rapidly learn new martial arts and to deliver more power with each strike. And this is not hypothetical. In one study it was found that children with greater working memories responded better to instructions when learning basketball shooting, learning faster and to greater effect. Several more studies have shown similar results. In one it was found that the performance of karate pupils in sparring could be significantly improved with an intervention involving working memory training. That's right, specifically training working memory with a battery of computer tests could improve fighting ability. The study authors hypothesized that the gains in performance were due to improved skill acquisition during training between tests. However, they also explained that it could be due to improved awareness and decision making during contests. Even when moving in an unstructured way, a better working memory would theoretically allow you to maintain a more complete image of your own body. In a similar study, it was shown that improving working memory, using a computer game called Musical Catch, could reduce falls in participants aged 60 to 80. By focusing in on the role of working memory in movement, I hope I've demonstrated the clear role for cognitive training for any serious athlete or anyone looking to improve their general performance. But how do we incorporate this kind of training? To improve movement and motor skill acquisition, we need more multisensory proprioceptive training for working memory. The good news is that there are countless options when it comes to complex and proprioceptively demanding movement that can reliably benefit executive function and working memory. One example is balance training or unstable surface training combined with resistance training. The effectiveness of such training methods for building dynamic athleticism is the subject of much debate, but the cognitive benefits have been demonstrated repeatedly. In one study, movements such as squats on a Bosu ball were shown to improve working memory, processing speed, response inhibition and set shifting in healthy older adults. But these benefits likely have more to do with the balance and coordination than with the weights themselves. Adults that undertake acute proprioceptively demanding training enjoy an improved working memory, according to one study. Examples include crawling along beams, climbing trees and running barefoot. and the clue comes from the phrase proprioceptively demanding. By requiring the individual to focus on input and control across the body, these exercises require sharp focus and the juggling of information, just like manipulating numbers in our mind's eye. You don't necessarily need to buy a balance board to enjoy these benefits. While I couldn't find any specific studies confirming the theory, it follows that hand balancing would offer similar advantages. The same should certainly be true for gymnastics rings. The benefits of slacklining appear to be even more pronounced, as this is an extremely challenging form of balance training. In one study it was found that slacklining could improve jump performance and postural control. Moreover, brain scans revealed enhanced efficiency in the striatal network of the brain, a region responsible for motor learning, self-initiated movements, and the execution of complex action sequences. Quadrupedal movements, especially combined with balancing, are also effective for improving joint repositioning and markers of cognition. Juggling is a slightly different example that has also been shown to boost working memory and many other cognitive skills. Juggling has this effect as you must not only consider the movement of your own hands, but also the movement of the balls in the air. But this also explains why 3D object tracking tools are so effective for developing forms of working memory. I've spoken before about how much I've personally benefited from the Oculus Quest app called REAKT Performance Trainer. In fact, this experience was partly what inspired this post. Moreover, we need to focus on focus itself. Focus is, most likely, the gatekeeper of working memory. Our working memory is born from our ability to sustain activation in certain neural networks so that lasting impressions remain. In fact, the controlled attention model of working memory suggests that they're effectively one and the same, and studies demonstrate this clearly. When we are mindful of our movement, we move faster and more accurately. When we're distracted, our movements become sloppy. This is where exercises like dual end-back can be beneficial and have some transfer. Specifically, directive forms of meditation that involve focused attention. In one cool study, it was shown that meditation could reduce a phenomenon known as attentional blink. This describes the lull between attentional shifts, the psychological refractory period. In other words, it can directly affect your ability to switch between tasks and therefore improve the OODA loop. This would have huge tactical advantages in combat. That study used a form of meditation called integrative mind-body meditation. Anecdotal reports describe how meditating regularly can increase general awareness. Colours look brighter, and even the taste and smell of a glass of whiskey is felt more vividly. This makes sense in the context of everything we've discussed. You're now able to take in more information from the world around you, and hang on to it as you examine and disseminate it. Many people struggle with directive meditation because they lack immediate feedback. The mind wanders and they may not even realise it. My solution is to replace traditional forms of meditation with focused mental arithmetic. For instance, I'll close my eyes for 10 minutes and increase 2 to 3 numbers by different steps. This is surprisingly hard to do as you catch your mind wandering. I call this computational meditation. And while there are no studies about this, seeing as I just made it up, there is evidence that focusing on mental arithmetic can provide similar benefits to meditation, such as heightened emotional control. Another cool option is any form of moving meditation, such as Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a controlled meditative movement that places the focus acutely on proprioception. Unsurprisingly, Tai Chi has been shown to have direct benefits for working memory. Now you may be wondering why you can't just focus on a computer game or a good film. The answer may have to do with stimulus intensity. It is much easier for us to focus on something that's loud and explosive. This pulls our attention in and may use the ventral attentional network. Conscious, sustained attention on something non-stimulating is effectively a different skill. In one study it was found that just 80 minutes of meditation in 4 20-minute stints was enough to significantly improve participants' working memory, verbal fluency and visuospatial processing. The same effect was not found for the control group that spent the same time listening to The Lord of the Rings on audiobook. So my recommendation for Deathstroke training then is to incorporate a day of more cognitively demanding, proprioceptively complex, focused training. That can include unstable surface training, hand balancing, tai chi, yoga, slacklining, juggling, martial arts, object tracking, dual end-back training, and directive meditation. This should be combined with a training program designed to help us act on those rapid decisions. That means fast, explosive training combined with high work capacity for endurance. You might be rolling your eyes now and thinking that this all sounds a bit silly, a Deathstroke workout that concludes you should take up toss juggling. On the contrary, I think it's awesome. Meditation, concentration drills, and holding crisp handstands sounds exactly like the sort of thing that an experienced mercenary at the top of their game should be doing. This is refined, intelligent training. Why do you need to train your proprioception and awareness? I'd argue that this is every bit as useful as training max strength. For the average Joe, it can prevent falls and accidents. Juggling, for example, develops the brain in regions relating to peripheral vision. Imagine what that could do for your driving, your sports, or anything else. We should think of this as a crucial pillar of general preparedness. An athlete with greater proprioception and an increased ability to consider all this information at once will acquire new skills more quickly, and all of us can benefit from gaining greater control and awareness of our own movement. So I hope you found this video useful and interesting, guys. If you did, please consider leaving a like and sharing it around. That helps me out immensely. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this kind of training. Do you train your awareness and complex movement? Like I said, if you want to see a full training program that incorporates this kind of thing, be sure to check out my ebook and training routine, Super Functional Training. The link is in the description down below. And there's a discount on at the moment while we're all dealing with the pandemic. Let me know what topics you'd like me to cover in future videos, and I'll do my best to get to them. Either way, thanks a ton for watching this one, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.